Hi everyone, I'm Mark from Hard Hat Hunter and we're here again at Canada College. And today I'm going to be showing you guys how to install the doorstop and also a lock set. Now that we got our door installed, we are ready to put the doorstop in. And just a thing to be mindful with the doorstop, we have a flat edge here, we want to put that against the door. So today what I'm going to be using is this pine doorstop. I got my 18 gauge nailer, and always remember guys, safety first. I'm going to put my safety glasses on and my hearing protection. And also you want to call back your helper to help you install the doorstop as well. Alright, so now that I have my helper, he's standing on the other side of the door, making sure that my door is staying flush to my jamb. And then we're going to use the doorstop. We're going to start with the top. And the reason we use doorstop is just so that our door doesn't overclose. So I'm going to start with the top, just slide that in, ensuring he's holding it flush. Put a couple nails in. Now we'll install our side jambs. Making sure our assistant is holding the door nice and flush on the other side. Okay, so now we got our doorstop all installed here. Now we're ready to start making our hole for our lock set. Standard height for a regular doorknob is 36 inches, so I'm just gonna take my tape. And it's 36 inches from your finished floor. And I'm just gonna mark center with my pencil. All right, so we're laid out and we're ready to go. I got a hole boring tool here. It's a jig that will set up perfectly for my hole saws to go through the door. I got a little guide here. I'm gonna put that on my layout line, tighten the vise, and it's ready to be drilled. What I'm using today is a standard 2 1/8 hole saw, and I'm just gonna place it in here. I got a guide bit here. I'm gonna start drilling. Just go slow. You don't wanna blow out the other side of the door. So I'm just gonna start. And I'm just gonna stop right here. Once my pile hole goes all the way through to the other side, I'm gonna jump over to the other side and finish off my hole just to prevent some blowout. All right, so we got our hole bored out for our doorknob. Now I'm gonna work on getting the hole bored for the barrel. So I'm using a 1 3/8 hole saw here and put it in the jig. All right, so we got our holes bored out, ready to go. What we're gonna do next now is take our jig off. All right, so we're ready to start mortising our barrel here. This is a standard barrel for a doorknob, and we always wanna make sure that we're pointing the beveled edge towards the stop. So when it closes and latches in. So I'm gonna put it in the hole, get it set. I will temporarily screw it in. And then once we have our barrel screwed in, we'll take our utility knife and score the edges, stopping before I get to the end and going the other way so I don't overcut. Very gently scoring it. Once we have our barrel all scored up, we'll take it back off. And now we can see our outline, and we're ready to grab our chisel and start taking some of the material out of there. All right, so now I got my bolt all mortised in here, nice and flush. Just gonna screw it back in. And it's ready to get the knob put in. Okay, so now we're gonna install our knob. I have just a standard kind of bedroom knob here that has a lock on the one side and a little key, or just a little tab here to unlock on the one side. So we're gonna have knobs and our screws. So this being the inside of our room, we want to put the lock side in. In our hole, we're just going to slide the doorknob through. And there's some guides on the bolt that will help you. And then add the lock side. And I'm just gonna take the screws and just kind of finger tight them, get them in place. And once they're kind of in place, I'm gonna take my screwdriver, screw it in, and I wanna put my screws in tight enough so that my knob is not gonna slide down off the door. It's working good. And then we can put our doorknob back on. You want to test the lock. And there you go, your doorknob's installed. What we want to do next is lay out for our striker plate. So what I'm going to do is just close the door and just kind of see where my striker plate's going to latch. And I'm just going to mark the center of the actual bolt. And the next thing I'm going to do with that is I'm going to use a 3/4 inch spade bit to bore out a hole to make sure that when I close the door, that the bolt has room to go in, okay? And I'm gonna do this just right in the center of my jamb here between the door stop. And you don't have to go all the way through, just enough to get your latch in there. I'm gonna take my catch plate and I'm going to install it temporarily. And I'm just gonna do a test close just to see if it's gonna work for us. And then I'll take my utility knife. Again, score my edges. And once my edges are scored, I'll take the striker plate back off, grab my chisel, and start mortising that. Okay, so I got my latch all mortised in, nice and flush. I'll just test my door, and it grabs nice. Okay guys, so that was my video on installing a lock set. And guys, always make sure to work safe, wear your PPE. And if you're unsure of doing something, please call a professional, because anything that you can do to your house to increase its value, you want it to be done properly for other owners to enjoy. And I'm Mark from Hard Hat Hunter. I want to thank Canada College for letting us use their facility. You guys have a nice day.